Blame it on me. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Aquastar Goddess. If you are new here, definitely subscribe, hit that bell so you can get notifications each and every time I upload a new video. What? So welcome to my channel. If you're new here, definitely subscribe, hit the bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. Smash the like button. And real quick, let's just go ahead and make that announcement. Of course, it's birthday weekend. What? It's birthday weekend. Of course it is. Your girl is 1 year from the big 4-0, okay? 1 year and 1 day, or no, 1 year and 3 days, 2 days from the big 4-0. So today I'm going to talk about a couple of things. So welcome to my channel. We're going to talk about a couple of things. So I don't know if you've heard, but on the internet, there's this post, this guy made this video talking about Trump said that if you have your baby daddy on child support, then you can't get no tax refund and he gets the child father. Well, that was fake. It was totally fake. Bitches be lying on the internet, okay? Bitches be lying on the internet, okay? Trump did not sign that, but I do want to tell you about something else that is going into effect in the state of Mississippi. So be mindful as it relates to pro-choice and all of these laws about all this shit. The states get to choose certain ways in which they enact or order certain, things. So in the state of Mississippi, so it's so interesting because this whole guy comes out on the internet talking about, oh, if your baby daddy's on child support, you can't get no tax refund. When we all know that them child support payments y'all be paying ain't enough, first off. And the majority of the money, okay, for those ladies who are getting child support, who are single mothers, they are the ones that are providing the majority of the care for the child and the majority of the financial responsibility and the physical responsibility. So that order altogether was just fucking ridiculous, okay? But when you look online and you hear these guys talking all this shit, you can find out right then and there which of these niggas don't have no babies, no babies by. Don't have no baby by that nigga because he excited. And you too goddamn excited for your baby mama to just continue to be struggling. You fucking serious, bitch? Okay, so that was one thing. That was the fake situation going on with the child support order. The real thing, okay, because that was the fake child support order that we were talking about. And of course, the internet really blew this whole thing up. They took it and ran with it. It was such a big thing. Now we're coming to this one right here. What is real in the state of Mississippi? There is an ejaculatory order. Sweet karma, sweet karma. Okay, listen. Now, I want you to know something. Now, first and foremost, this is only in the state of Mississippi. However, the importance of this order is that, when an order comes out somewhere, that's testing ground. They test it in one place to determine whether or not they're going to make it go wild everywhere. So this ejaculatory order basically states that a man cannot ejaculate inside of a woman unless he is intending to have a baby with that woman. And if he does, if he is found guilty, he can be charged and fined up to $10,000. And it does go according to the 3 strikes laws. So if you get fined too many times and you go to jail and you start getting strikes, on a 3rd strike, you're out. You're sticking your ass in jail simply for ejaculating inside of a woman. Now, listen, I get it. I get it. That's upsetting. It's a totally upsetting topic. But the reality of the fact is that a woman doesn't know when a man ejaculates in her. And so for her to be fully responsible for a child that she probably didn't want or didn't ask for, okay, and then to also have all of these other, with the fake news of the fake child support order, if she were having to stand by that, basically what you're saying is you're punishing women for having children, okay? And that's what it all comes down to, right? So what we found is that this child support order situation was fake. However, the state of Mississippi has enacted an order that does say that if a man ejaculates inside of a woman without the intention of having a baby with her, then he will be fined up to $10,000. And I think that's a good one because, contraception, birth control, and all of this stuff has always been placed upon the backs of a woman. And not to say that she doesn't have some responsibility. However, The man is the one who knows when he goes off, okay? And that's just the reality. You know when you go off, my guy. So miss me with the bullshit, okay? So I found that that was super interesting to see that that came out. And to me, it's sweet justice because these men were on the internet talking about this whole child support order and they were going off, girl. They were really all excited and just excited to be deadbeat dads. And it's like, ooh, you are terrible. You are terrible. So sis, listen, if y'all are out there dealing with these guys, I apologize for anything in the past that I might have said that may have made you feel like single mothers aren't out here doing their thing. Like, it's never been like that for me. Like, I never tried to make you feel like that. But also, for these guys who out here who are just so easy and so cool with just being a deadbeat, oof. Give us some spray. We need some bug spray for these motherfuckers. Like, spray these niggas with some bug spray. Straight up and down, okay? So anyway, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, then definitely certainly subscribe. I hope that you have been having a good year thus far. I know that there's a lot of scary things going on out there. A lot of scary things going on out there. There's a lot of new, executive orders from Trump. Okay. Why they got me looking crazy on that little thing right there? They didn't have to do that to me. And I know that it's getting a little scary, okay? Because Trump is out here doing all kind of shit. And we know that the world is actually in a place and in a position to respond to these things. And so it may impact you, unintendedly for yourself. It's not something that you've intended for, but there's going to be a lot of impact and a lot of blowback that the people will actually experience based on what Trump may or may not be doing. And so for me, when I come to this channel and I talk to you guys about these things, I simply want to say, I want you guys to really, really, really. ¿Cómo estás tú? How are you? Buenos noches.
Buenos noches.
That means good evening.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. You're in Spanish? So anyway, sorry about that. I know that this is very scary. And I know that the things that Trump has going on, could really cause you to question what the hell's going to happen with me? What the hell's going to go on? Okay, what's that mean?
My dad is here.
I know that these things are scary. I know that 10 comments. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Claus, how are you? Welcome back. Truly blessed. Is that C? Girl, what's going on? Hey, y'all. Oh man, I'm sorry. I missed y'all's comments so far. OMG. Hi, how are you? How was your day? It was good? I'm great. Thank you. Okay, cool. Alrighty, so let me go back to the comments because I didn't check them. I didn't see you guys commenting, but thank you so much for tuning in and welcome, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button also. And I don't know what you've heard, so we can recap if you want. We can definitely recap, but it's necessary. We might have to recap on some of that because I kind of was, talking about it and I wrote through it really quickly. So we can definitely recap on those topics and those conversations if you didn't catch them so far. But like I was just saying, I know it's really scary out here trying to decipher and determine what the is Trump doing, right? And yes, I get it. He just reversed the 1965 DEI, which is Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion of the Civil Rights Act, which is crazy. Like, to go back from, it's 2024. Hold on, listen, how many years did he go back, bro? This bro took us back in the day. Back in the time, hold on, what year is it? 2025 minus 1965 is 60 years. So he's basically took us back 60 years on some shit. Now, I want to know what you guys think about that, because in reality, and also if you guys, please, if you want to join me in this live, be free to join me. You may absolutely join me on this live if you want to speak about some of these things, if you're upset, if you're bothered, if you're upset, like, what the fuck is he doing? Okay, because I know he's doing so much. He's like doing the most. He's doing the absolute most. But I want to talk to you guys about that and how I feel about it as it relates to what's going on. As you can see today, I come on pretty happy. I went to my spiritual bath today, okay? Because before I was feeling a little bit conflicted. I was like, how am I feeling? But ultimately, listen, I feel like listen, if you've been following my channel for a while, you already know it's time to get in that magic, boo. If you haven't been in your magic, you need to get in that magic. If you ain't burnt no herbs, you need to be burning no herbs. And I know B. Simone was like, I ain't burning no herbs. Listen, B. Simone, you shut up. You stay right on over there. Okay. Trump talking about he revoked the 1965 Act. He went 60 years back. You know it was right before that, right? Okay. All right, Jim Crow, all that. Okay, so you shut up. You shut up, okay? All right, so let me see. Let me read y'all's comments. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. She's definitely like, oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Claus and Truly Blessed. Honey, you changed your name back. What happened? So gray area to that though. What is the woman wants to the man to ejaculate in her? Oh well, guys, get a fucking condom. It ain't that hard. So Claus says it, okay? Claus says it. What if the woman wants the man to ejaculate in her? Well, I think in that case, then we have a mutual agreement here, right? However, the order in Mississippi that has been enacted, it is already in and out. We were talking about earlier how there was the fake, some guy comes out online and he's screaming, oh, Trump said that if you have a baby daddy on child support, you can't file them babies on taxes. And I'm like, okay. That's ridiculous. Because if a nigga's paying $150 a month for one child, bitch, you ain't paying for shit. You ain't paying for a goddamn thing with $150. And men be having the absolute audacity to be upset when they paying $150 a month. You got to be shitting me. Okay, you got to be really shitting me. Okay. So and so I get it. Back to Claus's comment. So you know, and in Mississippi, as a response to that, which is really not a direct, I don't know that it's a direct response to that, but it just, to me, looking at it from the outside looking in, it's kind of a response to that, right? So all these men are online, super excited about about being able to file their kids on child support, even if they barely even paying child support, even if they ain't paying child support, they was all excited, okay? And they were so excited to see that the woman who's mainly caring for these children, mainly taking care of these children, taking them to school, you know, giving them their baths at night, you know, paying for all of their living expenses besides what you send in for child support, okay? And they were just so excited about this. And to me, it looked like you are excited to be a deadbeat, because basically that's what you are. You're not present. You know, a lot of these men, they're just paying the child support. I've been seeing a lot of news about men just being like, oh, if I'm on child support, I don't need to be present. Excuse me. Okay, excuse me. So I'm going to leave that whole topic alone right now, because that's not really what we're talking about. Anyway, in response to that, Mississippi sent out an ejaculatory order. And the ejaculatory order states something. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up, because I did have the whole thing and I read it. It wasn't too long, but it sends a message. And to me, the message that it sends is that, you know, yeah, men, you do have a responsibility as it relates to when women get pregnant. And while I know that there's going to be some men that are going to be super upset about this, they're not going to be happy about that, blah, 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 blah. The reality is a woman doesn't really know when you ejaculate in her unless you tell her. And I get it that there are some special case scenarios. Now, I am not including special case scenarios where a girl done put them holes in the condom. If she done did that, hey, take her ass. She should be the one fined in that regard, right? That's how I feel. Okay, but this is in the case where men who are just skeeting all over the place, all up in women, having, you know, getting them pregnant, holding them responsible for the child that they created, okay, without her really knowing until it was too late, and then disappearing or just not being present or just not doing enough, okay, to really actually properly care for the seed that you have created, okay? Now, if I'm being real with y'all, this is stupid that we even have to talk about this shit. I'm gonna just be 100 with y'all. Okay, hold on. Let me find it. Give me 1 second. Ejaculation bill. Here we go. Right here. Okay. Contraception begins at erection. So to me, I think this is super, super, super important. Why? Because it's true. Contraception begins at ejaculation, right? And so now the state of Mississippi has decided, listen, y'all want to tell women that they can't have abortions? Y'all want to tell women that they can't do anything with their body once they're pregnant, no matter what the circumstances or the situation is, no matter if they themselves determine that financially I cannot provide for this child. Okay, no matter what, if they determine mentally and emotionally I cannot provide for this child, you know, you guys have decided. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations, truly, honey, on being an insurance agent. Oh, woo, woo, woo. Go for it, girl. I'm so glad about that. And also because, side note, the fires over in California, they've been canceling policies to not pay out. And so I feel like we need a little balance in that department. So congratulations. I'm super excited to see what you're going to do with that. Like I said, if you need any help from me, then holla at your girl. Okay. But let's go ahead and look at this ejaculation or erect. I didn't mess it up. Contraception begins at ejaculation. So, and Act 2, the contraception begins at an erection act to define the terms to provide it that thou shalt shall be unlawful for a person to discharge genetic material without the intent to fertilize an embryo. Okay, so let me read that one more time. Okay, because I know I messed it up. My words fumbled a little bit. So, in Act 2, enact the contraception begins at erection act. To define the terms, to provide that it shall be unlawful for a person to discharge genetic material without the intent to fertilize an embryo, to provide for criminal penalties, to provide certain exceptions, and for related purposes. So for me, I feel like this is a total clapback to the whole. This order is a complete clapback to the women's rights, to the women's abortion rights. Okay, this is a complete clapback from that, because now, because men have been out here talking all kind of crazy. Like, there have been men out here, like, I mean, they've been talking about raping women and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. It's like they feel like they can just run wild and just do whatever, and there's just no repercussions for them. And so for me, this is making it say, hey, God damn it, you're not about to be out here just doing all kind of crazy shit now. Go and get your shit together. And so I feel like this is something that's absolutely necessary. I feel like this is a perfect response to the pro-choice, pro-life act. I really, Klaus says, genetic materials, I'm dead. Listen. When I first read it, I was like, oh, damn. 100% serious. That's exactly how I felt about it. Like, oh, shit. Like, that's crazy, right? That is absolutely crazy. But I feel that for me personally, I agree with it, because all of this responsibility is placed on the woman. And now women are like, oh my God, like if I get pregnant, I'm just stuck. I can't do nothing. Like there's nothing I can do, which I feel like, once again, I feel like ultimately we should probably be teaching sexual responsibility and sexual accountability to both men and women. Okay. And, you know, when we're younger, our parents all be like, sex leads to a baby, you know. My parents would be like, kissing leads to a baby, okay? Not just sex, but kissing leads to a baby, goddammit, because kissing leads to sex and sex leads to the babies. So, you know, kissing leads to babies, okay? So, goddammit, I think if we are able to really be proactive, okay, as opposed to reactive, I think that's obviously going to be the better bet, the better option. But you know how the world works. The world does what it wants to do until it figures out that it was stupid to do that. Okay. And now we all in trouble. Okay. So anyway, I feel like this act personally is a clapback to the whole, first of all, the child support order, and second of all, to the making women fully responsible for children that they were not intending to have. Okay. And saying that, oh, if you get pregnant, then da da da. Now, we also know that women themselves have all decided, many women have decided, well, I guess we just not having sex then. So I guess you ain't getting none. So, but we also know that there was some group, maybe like 2 months ago, there was talks of a group of men who had decided, or who were talking about all the things that they wanted to do. They wanted to rape women. They wanted to do all kind of crazy stuff. And they were just talking about their darkest, deepest desires to do terrible things. And so what we know is that there are predators out there, 100%, that are looking to take advantage of anything that is going into place. And so let's go into the 1965 bill as well, since we've talked about the fake child support order and the ejaculation order. Let's talk about the reversal of the 1965 Civil Rights Act, which was this one, civil rights. What was that? That was the, I don't remember. But anyway, the reversal of the 1965 civil rights. Now, here's the thing. I am a little bit conflicted on this one because of the fact that if we go back to that time period where civil rights was a really big thing and our, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and all of these people were fighting for our rights, right? One of the things they were trying to do was to have equal supplementation of education, of opportunities, of, government programs, things of that nature, that would give us the opportunity to compete in the marketplace. And so at that time, they were trying to dismantle segregation. Okay. Now, at that time, segregation was dismantled. What we have discovered through time, and I know a lot of people may not agree with this, but what we've really discovered is that there are not enough Black businesses. There are not enough Black owners. There's not enough wealth in the Black community, in the African American community, because what ended up happening was once segregation was removed, we all converged and came together, and all of those Black programs. In the South was really, really doing some things. There were transportation for Black people, because we were all segregated. So white people had their transportation and their schools and their hospitals and they grocery stores, and Black people had their transportation in their schools and their hospitals and their own systems. So what happened with segregation was it removed the Black entrepreneurship. It removed the Black community's individual infrastructures, and it converged, and the white people mostly benefited from the Civil Rights Act. Now, I know that this all sounds very harsh and it sounds very I get what you're saying. I do. I understand. Now, we have to remember, along with the dismantling of, along with segregation. So remember, Tulsa, Oklahoma, which was Black Wall Street. So we can talk about Black Wall Street real quick. What happened with Black Wall Street was, Black Wall Street was a Black community in Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay. And they were thriving. They were doing good. They had businesses, they had stores, they had schools, they had nice homes and nice cars. Now, what happened was white people came across the tracks and started burning down homes, buildings, businesses, and schools. So you see, I don't know that this civil rights thing, as far as the segregation part of it goes, was beneficial to Black people. I feel like what we potentially could have done better was just made it a hate crime for white people to come and do shit like burn our homes down and burn our schools down. That should be considered a hate crime, right? And a hate crime should be punishable by law. Now, I know that this is all difficult to go back on. This is all difficult because now we're 60 years in the future now at this point, right? So I know that talking about these things and hearing about these things as they're happening in the government and things are happening around here is very difficult to take upon this concept and to really grasp it in the way in which it should be grasped. This is something that should have been had then, right? But obviously, sometimes you make mistakes. And right now, what we're looking at is history often repeats itself. If you do not know your history, it will repeat itself. So a few months ago, there was a bunch of people, there was this guy that came online and was like, oh, you should come to this city and da-da-da, and we've got this Christmas tree lighting going on and blah, blah, blah. And everybody on TikTok was like, I know you fucking lying because that's a sundown town. He tried to say, oh, this isn't a sundown town and da, 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 da. Let me tell you something. Black people of all people know when the fuck the sundown towns is at, okay? Of all people, we know where the fuck they at. So don't try to play us. Don't try to come here and talk about we not a sundown town trying to rebrand the shit. No, you always a sundown. You was a sundown town in the past. You still a sundown town. God damn it. And so we have to remember as well that those sundown towns and that Tulsa, Oklahoma was not an isolated incident. We need to realize that these were not isolated incidents. It wasn't just Black Wall Street that was burnt down. There was a place in Philadelphia where there was Gino knows the name of this guy, but there was this guy who created this whole community. They were vegans. They were trying to be more natural and more of the earth and stuff like that, although they were doing it in Philadelphia, which was a little weird. But you know what I mean? Like if they had done it in the country, probably wouldn't nobody cared, right? But who's, you do what you where you grow up and where you know that's where you live, right? That's where you do what you're doing. So anyway, they went and bombed his place. They bombed him. They bombed his family. They bombed them kids. There's so many places and so many circumstances and situations around the United States of America where Black people had thriving communities, thriving homes, schools, cars, businesses, and white America burnt the shit down, blew the shit up. So while we are the reason why this whole Civil Rights Act reversal of this is so hurtful and so scary is because back in those times, what they were doing was burning our shit up. So there was never really, us doing that was necessary for white people to learn how to integrate with us, right? But in reality, all we really needed was for y'all to leave us the fuck alone. Like if y'all could have just minded y'all fucking business and stay where the fuck you was at and not touched us, none of this equity, DEI, none of this shit would even be real. Because in reality, we were thriving. However, when white people would come into our communities and get mad because we was doing good and not bothered, they wanted to burn our shit down. And this happened all across the United States of America. Okay? So this side note, I'm going to change the subject. This is why it's so upsetting when Arabs, Asians, Ukrainians, even Africans, and sometimes Jamaicans and Haitians. It's so upsetting when y'all come to the Americas and y'all don't know our history to understand why we have sometimes been at a point where we're just giving up, right? You don't understand why we're there. It's because of those things that have happened all across the United States of America. Please understand, it didn't just happen in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that one little place. There's so many stories, so many of our leaders, so many people across the states that were systematically taken out, murdered, killed, sent to jail, sent to prison, which ruined our communities. I remember my grandma and my grandfather used to always tell me, listen, they lived in Detroit, Michigan, right? And my grandmother on my mom's side and my grandfather on my mom's side, my grandmother on my dad's side and my grandfather on my mom's side, both tell me of all the stories of how they were all like community based. Like if you got in trouble, if you was out here in these streets and you was doing something wrong, you gonna get a whooping by the neighbor and your daddy and your mama. You was gonna get your ass whipped. We were a community, a very strong knit community. So the only way that they could come in was to propaganda us, telling somebody down in Tampa that, oh, these people up in Philadelphia, they were up there and they were, doing this and doing that, knowing it was some lies, right? But when you're that far apart and you don't know, they were even telling people in the community they were doing this and doing that. So what they do is they create these narratives that are negatively facing. And this is one of the reasons why I question the whole P. Diddy and Jay-Z thing too. I want to be clear with you guys, because I know that they have consistently and constantly used propaganda to keep you out of coming together. Okay. That's what they did with the TikTok thing. They shut down TikTok recently, and it was just for a day or two. Really, all they wanted to do was to switch the servers over so they can start taking their stock in the company. This was all about them gaining money. So I want you to be aware, when you come from outside of the United States of America and you come into the US of America and you see the Black communities and you wonder why we're there, I'd rather you ask a question than to judge, because the Latinos, some of the Africans, the Asians, everybody that comes into the United States of America, listens to the Caucasian man's story and they go with that. Instead of hearing our story, which is they burnt our shit down. We were doing fine. They came and burnt our shit up. We were doing good. They was hanging us from trees. We were doing great. They were arresting our men for longer periods of time for the same crimes that white men were committing that didn't get no time. They put drugs in our community. There's so much that goes behind where we are as a community. And ultimately, I think that one of the main things that I got to point out is that separation, divide and conquer, was the greatest strategy of all. Divide and conquer. So when we come to a place where we decide and where we know that, no, I don't give a fuck what they talking about. We need to work together. We need to stick together like brother and sister. When you got a brother, when you got a sister, when you got we got sisters down the street, when you got brothers down the street, we walk down the street, ain't no smoke coming this way unless you getting it with everybody. When you walking down the street with your cousins and your friends and your brothers and your sisters, anybody come this way with smoke, everybody, you're gonna get it from everybody. It's not one, you want to deal with one of us, you want to deal with all of us, basically. And so when we get down that pathway, when we actually come together and support one another, regardless of what somebody might say, hey, we can pull somebody aside. Hey, let me have a conversation with you in the back real quick, because I heard this and that and third, blah, 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 woo, woo, woo. Let's get this straightened out. That's not real great. You know, we have to be teachable. We have to be coachable with one another. We have to be understanding and respectful that not only have you gone through this, but I've gone through this too. And so I think I am still conflicted about this whole reversal of the Civil Rights Act, but I think ultimately what we can really focus on is creating our own infrastructures and creating our own infrastructures really is the best bet. And I know that in the past that we created our own infrastructures. We had our own neighborhoods. We had our own stuff. And white people came and burnt the shit down. Of course they did. So we have to find a way to counter that more than anything else. Okay. And I think that that's really what we have to look at, as opposed to looking at what they're doing. Because let me tell you something, these people are going to do what they're going to do anyway. Another thing I wanted to come and talk to you guys about today was making sure that you in your magic. Listen, I don't give a shit what B. Simone says. She's going to be in that Bible. Then let me tell you something. The Bible is a spell book too. You might find some spells in there, but just don't get lost in that bitch. Okay. And also remember to call your ancestors. Use your herbs. I know what B. Simone said, but B. Simone didn't know what she was talking about, because I sat there the next day. I sat there a couple days later and read everything that she was lying about. She was lying the whole she knows. She don't know. Okay. So don't follow people who are leading you down a pathway that's going to lead you back to where you've been already. We've been down that road already. Why keep going down the same path? Hey, listen, history often repeats itself. When you don't know who you are, when you don't know your history, it will often repeat itself. Okay. And that's just a fact. And that's what we're seeing. However, we have the opportunity to use this to our benefit. And I hope, I pray, I speak, utter to all of my community that you use this opportunity for the best and the highest good of you and all. That's all I got. All right, let me go back to the comments. For some men, the coochie be too good they can't pull out. Pause, listen, let me tell you something. I don't give two shits what you talking about, okay? It's called chi. Work on your goddamn own, what they call that? Chi. Work on your own chi, goddamn it. Now listen, that's Tantra. Let's talk about Tantra since you said that. Okay, Tantra teaches you how to control your own urges and your own this is the thing. I mean, we've become so over-sexualized, overstimulated as a community. Okay, as a community, because we let these people get in our music, we let these people get in our food, we let these people get in our minds and too much in our hearts. And that's ultimately what it was. Okay, they sent the drugs in the community, put it right smack dab in the hood, in the Black communities. Okay. I think it's also important to know, though, one of the things that we can see now, looking back 60 years, right, is that oftentimes what they've done to us will happen to them as well. So I think we just have to be more vigilant and more aware, more cognizant, and more socially responsible. Social responsibility is so important. Okay. Now back to what Claus is talking about, because I know what you're saying, and I know a lot of men be saying this stuff, but don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, I think I'm gonna get my nose pierced. Maybe I should do it this side. I've been trying to decide which side. I think I'm gonna get this side pierced because I don't know. It just looked like a nose piercing right there, and I was like, that's cute. I like it. Should I do this side or this side? Right or left? I think I'm gonna do the right side. I think I'm gonna do this side. Anyway, and I get it. Sometimes it's all so good, but no, you need to have self-control, okay? Talking about it'd be so good. Listen, the ejaculatory orator, okay? If your genetic materials was put out without the intention of creating a baby, okay, you could be fined up to $10,000. So, all right, think about that. All righty, let me see one thing. So people always forget that there's two or more sides to a story. This is very true. And this is all I'm saying. Like, but I think the thing that really just is really disheartening to the Black community, and this is why on TikTok, the Black community is like, we done for the next 4 years. We ain't hearing nothing. We ain't seeing nothing. We don't care. We ain't talking. And I know even with this whole Civil Rights Act thing, it's like, oh God, now we got to get back up and do something. But the reality is, and if you can look on TikTok, you can see that like white people, white women specifically, were very upset that Black women was like, we good. You handle that on your own. The reason why was because white women at 52% went and voted for Trump. So you don't need to have no conversation with 92% of the women who went and voted for the opposite. You need to have the conversation with the women who went and voted for him, voted against their own interests, right? But in reality, what we have to understand is that is not our fight. And oftentimes, Black people, because we always know whatever happens to somebody else is going to happen to us, we have been on the civil rights track since the beginning because we was here. We've been here. We've been here. That's why we've been in the fight. We was in the fight before anybody. And so when other people like the Latinos, the Cubans, the Dominicans, the Haitians, the Jamaicans, the Africans sometimes, the Asians, the Russians, the Ukrainians, when they come over here and they act like, oh, Black people are just this or that, you don't know the fucking story, bitch. Okay. And so I think it makes a lot of sense why at this point we're all just like, fuck it. We doing what we got to do over here. Y'all focus on y'all because we ain't got time for that. So anyway, let me see. The genetic material. Yes, that was good. That was good. I think the right side too. I think I'm going to do the right side. So anyway, Claus, what you been up to? What's been going on? I've been looking at stuff, trying to figure out if I'm going to Ghana, Bali, or somewhere. I'm going somewhere other than here. Okay. So I don't know. I need to talk to my mom first because she's probably going to be like, I know damn well this girl did not move across the waters. I know this girl did not move across the waters. Oh, you've been waiting on me, and I've been self-caring. I've been over here just trying to get my own life. You know, I've been just trying to get my own shit together. Just trying to. Nigeria. So tell me what the cost of living is there. Tell me, like, if I want to buy a house, a 5-bedroom house, how much is a good 5-bedroom house? A good one though. A good one. A good one. Okay, well, okay. So the thing is, I've been like working on getting so first off, if you didn't know, I've got multiple brands online that I've had for many years. Since 2011, I've had a beauty brand. Since 2011, basically, I had a whole beauty brand that I have had on the line. And for a little bit, I very much neglected that for like a couple years. And then, so recently I got that kind of set back up a little bit. So I've been kind of working on getting infrastructures together and in order. and also just decompressing and kind of taking in and processing all the things that's going on in life outside of this home and in the government and all that stuff like that. So I've been compressed. I've been like processing all of the things that have been happening. So I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna think about it. I think I have a discomfort about being in places where I don't understand the language. I know in most places, around the world, that's really not like most places and most people around the world are good natured, but you never know which, y'all just you don't want to fall into the wrong ones, you don't want to fall into the hands of the wrong place. Okay, so it's a thought. It's a thought that I'm having. You don't want to fall into the wrong hands. Okay, you don't want to fall into the wrong hands. But anyway, I've been learning a lot lately. I learned that when I learned that Gaddafi had like all of these great policies where he is, and also he was trying to give like billions of dollars to the Black community. And then somehow the U.S. government refused it. How the fuck? So that really lets me know that, ultimately they want to continue to keep us in a specific place. So I'm just looking at things like, okay, how can we use this to our benefit? And I think that's the best way we can go about anything right now. How can we use this to our benefit? That's it. That's all. Okay, well, so anyway, this is Aqua News Now, guys. We just talked about a couple of things. We just talked about the child support order, which is fake, the ejaculatory order, which is real in Mississippi, and also we talked about the 1965, the reversal of the Civil Rights Act for DEI. And I know that for a lot of people, that is very disheartening, concerning, especially with Musket, especially with him throwing up the Hitler sign. It's like, bro, like you're really doing the most right now. I think ultimately it's necessary to keep your eyes on what the fuck they got going on. And like I've been saying, I'm gonna say what I've been saying. I ain't gonna say much new to y'all, because what I've been saying for quite a while is make sure you got your security together. Number one. No, number two, make sure you're doing your work. Okay. When I mean your work, I mean your protective work, your magical work. That shit's necessary. Okay. And there's so many, you can go back on my videos. I mean, I know that I deleted, or I didn't delete them, but I kind of made them private. Some of them, I will go back and look and see if I can pull clips out of my old videos to share with you guys, or make new videos. I will make new videos on different things that you can do to protect yourself spiritually. But ultimately right now, because we're in the age of Aquarius, your utterance is going to be important. So speak. Be careful what you're speaking. One of the things that I noticed is that whenever something negative happens with politics or anything like that, the Black community in America anyway, has a very bad habit of being like, oh, this is the end for us. We're dead. We're this, we're that. Shut the fuck up. Stop saying that. Recognize that your words are important. What you speak will exist. Okay? Be mindful of those things. So, okay, so Claus says, I think the ejaculatory order can either gain traction fast and be embraced by other states, or lose traction so fast that it doesn't really take off. I think it's going to take off. This is my prediction, is that it will take off, because it's almost a direct response to, oh, do you mind stirring that? It's a direct response to the female contraception orders. The order is that, oh, you gotta stay pregnant no matter what the case is. You'd have been raped. You know what I mean? Like, I guess Trump said, oh, I agree if a woman's been raped or this or that, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, there's a lot of people that are young, that are just trying to get their life started, that are not ready to have another baby or have a baby at all, that these programs work for. Now, I do think that this is important. It's a good way to teach people to be careful, to be more careful. It is a good way to teach that. I can see that. But also, I think that it can be detrimental as it relates to growth for young people and for young individuals, because that is one of the fastest way to stifle your growth. And I know that we are ultimately here to procreate, but we live in a new period of time. Okay, and in this period of time, our lives are not just so easy. We've got there's a lot of, and where we live at anyway, where we live at, it's stressful. And paying all these bills, got all these things going on, you know what I mean? This is like, oh my God, like this is too much. Okay. And so we have to find a balance between, I think we have to find a balance within that whole regard. There's nothing wrong with having children, creating life. But I think that as it relates to the growth of society and economics, I think that it's going to be a good lesson. It's going to be a good lesson on how to be. You either going to learn, I guess abstinence should be taught more. I guess we should start teaching abstinence. That's what I think. I think ultimately we should just be teaching people to be better about, hey, ain't nothing wrong with celibacy. Ain't nothing wrong with just not having sex. I ain't had sex in quite a while. God damn, it's been so long. I don't even remember the last time I had sex. It's been so long. Oh my God. It's been so long since the last time I've been sexually active. And I ain't it's a good thing, because I ain't got to be worried about no pregnancy, baby, because it ain't happening. Okay, let me tell you. It ain't happening. It's been so long since I've had sex. Like, I can't even remember the last time I had sex, honestly. So anyway, okay, back up. So men to women, stop the abortion. Men want women to stop the abortion, but I think the ejaculatory order is a direct response to that. Because, hey, how do I know when you nut in me? Especially if you decide, oh, let's go back. Oh, Claus, you're so great, Claus, because you're so wonderful. Here's why you're so wonderful. Let me just go back. Where's that comment? Here we go. For some men, though, the coochie be too good. They can't pull out. Oh, yeah? You can't pull out? Oh, okay. How about getting fined $10,000 if you nutted in a woman and you was not intending to create a baby with that woman, up to $10,000, and keep playing around, and you're gonna get 3 strikes, and you're gonna be sitting in jail for the rest of your life because you want to be irresponsible with your ejaculatory material. Hold on, with your genetic materials. Okay. So miss me with the BS. Oh, I'm definitely retired. Hey, look, I am not playing. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm straight. Just imagine. Okay, I was about to say, imagine me being 65, being pregnant. Bro, I just sent some posts. You know, you get on the internet, and the internet tells you everything, you know? So this lady, she's like 65 and she's pregnant. I'm like, bitch, what happened? Like, was you trying to do that? Or did it just happen by accident? Because if it happened by accident, sus, what is you doing? Okay, it's not gonna happen. I am right now. And I'm okay with it because look, hey, I ain't got to worry about no babies. I ain't got to worry about being stuck with a baby that I don't want to have. I don't got to worry about a man talking about, oh, these dudes was too excited about that fake child support order. You deadbeat ass niggas. That's the way I feel. You guys are deadbeats. You're absolute deadbeats. Absolute deadbeats. Okay. Anyway, okay, guys. So that's what we talk about today. So I want to know what your opinions are. Share them in the comments. Talk with me. You know, what do you think about this whole ejaculatory order? Do you think it's right? Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's gonna work? I think it's gonna work. Honestly, mark my word. I think this is gonna gain weight. Because as a matter of fact, I'm gonna make it gain weight. I'm gonna go online and talk about it. And I want to see how the men are going to respond. I think that's the most important part, because the men were so, when they thought that Trump passed the law before he was even a president, which is crazy. I was like, this nigga ain't even president yet. Y'all stupid. Like, I knew it was fake, but you know, the internet can blow stuff up so fast. So anyway, I mean, they were excited, too excited for me. Too excited for me. And some of y'all ain't even say, you are married with a woman who has been not with child for the longest period of time. What the hell are you doing? You know, these men get on this internet and show their true colors. And I'm just like, ooh, baby. And my reality is this, okay? For the girls, for the young girls out here, honey, look at this shit. For these men who are out there, yeah, y'all can't collect taxes. And they just excited about that, honey. He's going to be a deadbeat. Don't have a baby with him. Okay. Put him on a blacklist. All right. We got a blackball list of men that don't have sex with and don't have children with, because they are going to be deadbeats in some way. Okay. Put him on the list, honey. The deadbeat list. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't have sex with him. Don't even look his way. Okay. He doesn't need any pussy at all, because he's coming out the wrong way the whole time. Okay. All right, so let's see. I think the order is a reality check on the coochie hungry men. And it could be, and I hope that it is. Because, so look, now if you know me, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I'm pretty, as it relates to like processing mentally, like I'm very level, I'm very fair. I'm not going to only look at things from one side. I'm going to oftentimes try to see the other side as well. Okay. So there's no way in which I can see men are right on this side. Like, I think that men are on the wrong side of karma when it comes to some of these things. And I'm not saying all men, I'm just talking about the men who are super excited about certain things, or, you know, they're the ones that are out here trying to manipulate women just to have sex with them. Or they're the ones that have sex with women and ghost. Like, I think those men now, at this point, back between circa 2024, they were in good space. But moving forward, 2025, moving forward, I think that those men are going to be on the wrong side of karma. Okay? They're going to be on the wrong side of justice. And I don't think that this is going to work out well for them. And I appreciate that order, first off, because it reminds men that you do have a responsibility to where your genetic material goes. You're right. It's so funny. Genetic material. Wherever your genetic material goes, you are responsible for that. The reality is that when a man is having sex, your ejaculatory genetic material is going wherever it's going. You have a choice on where it goes, though. So I think this is a perfect response to the whole, you know, conversation about pro-choice and abortion and this and that and the third. And like, I'm not saying that women should just be always resorting to abortion. However, you know, there are many reasons why these things happen. Sometimes the woman has been raped. And oftentimes, it's so funny because oftentimes women who have been raped do not report it. That part. And that's the part that's so scary. Claus, you're dropping nuggets. That's the part that's scary. It's like, you calculated my ovulation? You know when my period's gonna happen? I don't even know when my period's gonna happen. How the fuck do you know? I feel it. I mean, I get a feeling. Like, I get a feeling that, okay, I think my period should be coming within the next day or two. You know what I mean? Or the next couple of days. I don't know the dates though. So if you know them and I don't know them, you're calculating and you're plotting and you're planning and you're looking a little schemy, my guy. So I feel it. Yeah. Anyway, that's news now. So if you are new to my channel, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button so you can get notifications each and every time I upload a video, and certainly smash the like button. It is my, hold on, y'all don't know it, do you? You didn't know it. It's my birthday weekend. I know. Oh my God. I'm like a whole year and 2 days from 40. Can you believe it? Oh my God. My belly, if you saw my belly, you'd be like, yeah, I can believe it. But if, you know what I mean? Just looking at my face though, you really can't tell. Okay. But you know, the reality is this. So my birthday is coming up on Sunday. Okay. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Honestly, let me just go get my nails done. Last year I was like, oh, I want to go ride around town. My best friend was here. That was so fun. I need to call her. So as soon as I get off of here with y'all, I'm going to call her because I need to give her, we got a whole thing going on. So this hair, by the way, is my hair. So if you want some, hit me up in the inbox. This is actually a glueless unit. It looks good, doesn't it? Doesn't it look good? I know. So this is the 30-inch joint, you know? And I ended up doing a style on it, but I think I need to go get my Pump It Up Gold so that the style will last like longer, because I wanted this to be, I didn't want it to be soft crimps. I wanted this to be hardcore. Okay, so the fact that the crimps are not really showing crimps, like, you know what I mean? You can see it, but it's just not doing what I wanted to do. I need to go get that Pump It Up Gold. So I'm going to go get that Pump It Up Gold, honey. We're going to do this again. Okay, but if you're interested, hit me up. Hit me up in my inbox. This is it's the 5x5 glueless unit. This is a 30-inch. Super, super good. I only have one complaint about this hair, and it's a simple complaint. It's one that is not even really a complaint when you know how to work a unit. But yeah, it's a 5x5 glueless. So if you're interested, hit me up. Go to my, well, I don't know if you, just send me an email if you're interested. I've got 24 to 30 inches. This is a 30-inch. And then I've got, no, I think I got 22 to 30. So just holler at me if you're interested. Anyway, back here. Thank you, class. Okay, so 40, I had late 20s in my mind. Thank you. I appreciate the flattery. I really appreciate the flattery. But no, I'm about to be 40 in a whole year and a half. Not Sunday. So I'm gonna be 40 next year. In 2026, I'll be 40. I know. But honestly, I will tell you this. Let's talk about age, and let's talk about how let's talk about the illusions of age. As it relates to the illusions of age, I will tell you this. Where we live in the United States of America, there are a lot of men out there that want to make you feel some kind of way, or you're old and you're this and you're that. And it's like, nigga, you got a whole hole in your head. Like, you got a patch right here. I would suggest you shut up. Okay. Secondly, I think the most important thing is this. When I was in my 20s, I was dealing with a lot of just emotional uncertainty, emotional potential insecurities. And in my 40s, those things just simply don't exist. So I will say this, and I will say, being that I'm 38 right now, and I will be 39 in 2 days, and 40 in a year, I will say that when I heard older women saying, oh, when you become this age, and this age, it's like, you don't give a fuck. I can agree. I can 100% agree. Since I've been in my 30s, I will say this. I am almost at the end of my 30s. Oh my God, like, I'm almost at the end. I will say that in my 30s, it was way better than my 20s. Why? Because it's like, I didn't have these societal ideas about who and how I should be. I didn't have these concerns about what people thought about me. I don't give a fuck. And of course you care to some degree, but every year it's less and less fucks given. Like the fucks that's been given is those are the fucks I had. The fucks that I gave is what I had. At this point, I don't get too many fucks, right? Like, and I know that sounds crazy. I'm not saying that I don't care about anything. I'm not saying that, oh, I don't give a fuck about nothing. What I'm saying is, as it relates to how other people see me, that I truly don't give a fuck about. As it relates to how other people think I should be or think about, you know what I mean? Like all that shit, like, Because let me tell you why. Because people will tell you that they think you should be this or this or that, and then talk about you when you're not that, and then talk about you when you are that. So you get to a point where you realize that motherfuckers just, they don't even know what the fuck they want for themselves. So why the fuck do I need to worry about what other people think I should be and what I want to be? You know what I mean? It gets to a point where you really do recognize that other people oftentimes haven't even got their own shit together, but they still want to be in your face telling you how you should do and what you should be being and all this stuff like that. So I've realized that for myself. And at this point in my life, I've come to a point where I recognize who I am, and that's what's important to me, right? Like what's important to me is that I walk into this life with my purpose, and I walk into this life recognizing that I have an idea on how I want to be for myself, not how I want to present, not how I want to represent, but how I want to be. I don't want to look like a good person. I want to be a good person, right? And so when it comes to things like that, that means that I am, every day that I'm walking around, every day I'm walking on this earth and on this plane, I'm doing the things that are best for me, but also understand that just because I want, hold on, let's be clear. Wanting to be a good person does not mean that sometimes bad shit ain't going to happen to you as a result of me, right? I know you're probably like, what? Hold on. Let's catch that again. Sometimes let me just say it like this. In all times, in all realms, in all spaces, in all realities, I am responding accordingly. I'm responding accordingly. And then in those times, sometimes the way that I'm responding, there is growth metrics within inside of those moments, which means that sometimes there's an opportunity of growth for me. Sometimes I might respond in a way that requires me to grow a little further. Okay. But every time that I responded, it was accordingly to me. So what I've recognized is that, you know, we talk a lot about narcissists and narcissism, right? And in reality, we are all a little bit narcissistic because in reality, we only see the life in the world from this point of view. You only see life from right here. I could never see life from your point of view. You can explain it to me 100 times. I will never see life from your point of view. I will make efforts to do so. I will make efforts to think about things in other ways. But in reality, life is always from my point of view. So with that understanding, what I personally gathered is that how I'm feeling at any given moment, at any given time, and see, the thing is, the first part of my life, I was always concerned about making sure that other people felt good and that making sure that other people didn't feel bad as a result of me. Now, oh no, you got me fucked up. Because here's why. Because anything that I'm going to do in life, I'm always going to think about other people in general. Like I'm always going to think about, okay, how is this going to impact this and this and this and that? So that means that I'm never making a decision that's only not never. I won't say never. Let me remove the word never. Most likely, majority of the time, I'm not going to make a decision that's only purely beneficial to myself. Majority of the time, I'm going to think about how this is going to benefit others or how it's going to impact others. So if I come to a decision and you felt negatively impacted, I would suggest you come and have a conversation with me so we can understand why you felt like that. But majority of the time, I acted accordingly. So you need to think about that. Okay. So with all that discoveries, I discovered that I've done my part as it relates to understanding how to decide things or make decisions or make moves in a way that considers other people. And I'm still, when I say no fucks given, I don't mean that I don't have no consideration of other people. That's not what I mean. And I want you guys to be aware that sometimes I feel the need to explain that because the internet is very tedious. What I have noticed is that I could say one little thing, one little tiny little thing, and the world, the internet world takes it to a whole nother level. And I got to be clear about that. So I'm in my ability to, in my attempt to be socially responsible. That's the reason why I explain things sometimes. Anyway, all I'm trying to say is the fucks I gave when I was in my 20s and my 30s, I did not give. Okay, I did not give them fucks. So now I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the 40s. Because like in the 40s, I kind of feel like these fucks is going to be totally gone. Like what fucks? There's fucks? There was fucks to give? Oh no, I didn't get none of them fucks. Did y'all not bring me the plate for the fucks? I don't think the fucks was on my plate. I don't think I got that plate. I really feel like in my 40s, the fucks that was given or that was supposed to be given are not going to be there. But it doesn't mean, like I said, it doesn't mean that I'm not considerate of those that I love, that I care about, the people that are around me and stuff like that. It's not talking about that. It's just about how people think I should live, how people think I should be, how people think I should respond to shit. Bitch, I'm not here for you. Trust that. Trust and understand that. I'm not here for you, bitch. I'm here for me. I came in this way. I manifested to this motherfucker for some good reason. Okay, most likely it wasn't for your ass. I didn't even know your ass was going to be here 20, 30, 40 years ago. I didn't know your ass was going to be in my existence today. So what the fuck do you talk about? Okay, so I want you guys to realize that. Like, I want you guys to understand that, first off, I heard women in their 40s and their 50s and their 60s saying, oh, you just stop caring or you stop, da-da. And I get it. I totally get it. Because I experienced that in my 30s. In my 30s, I was like, I was less fuck given than I was in my 20s. And because next year I will be entering my 40s, I'm super excited to see what even lesser fucks I will be giving. I'm excited to see what even lesser fucks I will be giving at that time. And so I know that there's a lot of people that talk about age and, oh, if you're this age, you're that age, and you're this and you're that. And I'm like, bitch, why? Like, I really feel like a lot of people want other people to feel how they feel about things. Now, because you feel that you're old and crusty, and because you feel that now that you're old, this age, that means that you can't do this and you can't do that, doesn't mean everybody else in the world has to feel like that. I just want to be clear about that. So I had like 2 days out of this last, decade that I was like, oh my God, I'm getting old. And then I was like, old? Who says? Like, if I live to be 105 years old, am I really old? Absolutely not. I'm not even halfway through my life. So I think that this is just how we put things into perspective. I think this, we all put things into perspective in different ways. And so I just encourage you to think about that. I am excited. I'm very excited about where I am right now and where I'm going. There have been a lot of shifts and a lot of changes, and I'm sure there are going to be so many more shifts and changes. But I'm not afraid of those changes. I'm not afraid of where life is going for me. I'm excited about it. I'm interested to see what will happen, So happy birthday to me. My birthday's on Saturday. I mean, not Saturday, on Sunday. My birthday's on Sunday. So I'm excited to see, I so many things I could say. I think I'd rather just say them to the people that matter, that I'm thinking about right now. So shout out to my dad, shout out to my mom, shout out to Gino, shout out to my kids. I really feel very blessed to have you guys in my life. Shout out to my best friend. I feel very blessed to have you guys in my life. And that's it. I'm trying not to cry. I'm gonna cry. Don't cry. I'm such a punk. Why are you crying? I'm I feel very blessed to have these people in my life. And that's it. That's it. That's all. Shout out to Claus. Don't forget Claus. Oh no, I won't forget you. OMG, I'm crying. Okay. So let's talk about it. So here's the thing. So I told you I was like applying for like government stuff. The issue is I ended up taking a pause on that for a little bit. So for the complete month of December, I didn't really do any proposals, maybe like one or two. But the reason for that was because I had to get my website in order. Now my website's in order. I still got to do the homepage again because the homepage is trash. It's like bland, and all the other page, the inner pages are so cute, like but the homepage is a little bit not where I want it to be. So I'm gonna work on that. And I'm also working on other brands, like my beauty brand. I want to get that to a place where it's like really good because I don't know if you know anything about me, but I'm a multitasker. I'm definitely a multitasker. So yes. So there's that. And I don't know, there's a couple of ideas. I've been coming up with some ideas on things that I might want to do for the very near future. Especially after this whole TikTok thing happened, I didn't like that very much. I didn't like that very much, the way that they did that, the way that they basically bullied the guy who owned TikTok into selling his company or selling shares. I didn't like the way that America bullied him into that. I didn't like that at all. And I feel like it was very telling, and it was very much proof of the oligarch that is happening here. So I did not appreciate that at all. So anyway, not the Aquastar Goddess website. No, because I've got, okay, so I've got like between 5 and 8 brands online. So yeah, I think I need an investor at this point. I just need to go find a random drug dealer. Like, hey, bro, you want to invest in some businesses? At this point, I need to just go find some random drug dealers. Okay, since the government doesn't give a fuck about how they run and shit, why should I keep those same? You know? I know. Not yet. Not yet. I still got some work to do. I've got a lot of work to do. But anyway, so the brands that I was really focused on, because like the brands that were really my money makers were, yeah. So the brands that were really my money makers, I needed to redesign the website. So both of the websites, so 1, 2, that website's done. So there's 2 websites that I absolutely needed to get back established. I got those established. So right now what I'm doing is building up the SEO on that one and building up the indexing on, analytics and index and SEO and all that shit like that. So I'm building up the sites right now. Actually, I'm only building up one site. The other site is kind of just for show. Honestly, it's just there because those are going to be where the contracts go through. So anyway, I've got a lot of inner workings to do. So how about we can talk. We can definitely talk. There's just some things that I'm working on to get some establishment going in the background because I had to replace some situation. There's a lot going on. I'll just say that much. So I'm trying to kind of reorganize and redistribute and replace some things. So yeah, so for sure, we can work on some we can work in some capacity. I think right now, once I get back to the contracting, because like I said, in December, I took December off because I was rebuilding one website. I got that done. There's just a few little tweaks that I want to create. I got to do some tweaking of that site. But once the site is tweaked a little bit, then I need to go and start doing the indexing and the other stuff on the internet. You know what I mean? I need to do my internet SEO stuff, you know? And then once that is established, then I will get back to contract opportunities. And there's a lot out there. There's a lot of opportunities out there, and I passed some of them up because I really wanted to wait to see what they were going to do with this DEI stuff. So that was another reason too. So it's not just me working on stuff in the background. I've been watching the politics right now. So I need to pay attention to the politics a little bit. So now that I see what they've done, I'm going to go in from there. So I'm glad. Honestly, me and you are talking about this right now, but it was necessary for me to wait that period of time because I needed to watch the politics for a second. Because I knew that they were going to be making these changes when they elected him, okay, when he stole the election, okay. All right, when he rigged the elections. All right, they started talking about the DEI program. So back then back in November, I knew that I needed to wait to see what was going to happen. And so I did exactly that. So I know you're like, what the hell is going on over there? Well, really, this is what's happening. I need to pay attention. Oftentimes, I need to wait and see what's going on before I make a move. In 4 days, I believe that there's going to be a good opportunity for me to establish some good partnerships. So in 4 days, 4 days for me. I don't know about for you. You might be 3 days for you, but 4 days for me. Bear with me while I think. Anyway, we'll get on and we'll start talking numbers, okay? Because I need to talk numbers because ultimately, I need to know what my leeway is with you. And if you give me some leeway, then we can work for sure. But I need a little leeway right now, unfortunately, because there's a lot of changes that have happened. And some of these changes are related to government and various different shifts that are happening. And fortunately, I am not somebody that's going to overextend myself as it relates to other people's lives. So I'm never going to tell you I'm going to do something that I'm not going to do as it relates to most things. So we should talk. It won't be on that previous app. I was talking to you about the app. You know what I mean? That's a far away goal. That's not necessary for right now. There are some things that I have to work out as it relates to right now. So I just probably need to set up a mastermind. So I probably need to have a mastermind session. And then really work out some future movements. I know that this is a scary time, guys, for a majority of people, especially with all the things that have gone on. I know this is a scary time, but for me, it is an exciting time. Because it's a time where, for myself, I get to sit here and I get to look at my future based on what's going on, based on what direction I see. Because listen, as it relates to Trump, so Trump went ahead and signed that law reversing the 1965 Act. That should tell you what's happening in the future. Like oftentimes psychic abilities is common sense. You know what I mean? It ain't no big shit. It's common fucking sense. If he reversed the 1965 act, what can happen next and blah 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 woo woo woo, right? Aquarius Babe, how you doing, honey? Hi. So we can look and we can see toward the future, and that's what I'm doing right now. So right now, that's why I've been MIA, because I've been looking at the future, trying to figure out what I need to do for me. What I know y'all need to do is you definitely need to be in your herbs. You definitely need to be in your books. You definitely need to be in your planning stage. Like you definitely should be doing shit. You should not be sitting around doing nothing. And it's okay. Like, and when I say doing nothing here, keep in mind, sometimes if you are a dreamer, sometimes you laying down and you dreaming is you doing your work, because you're going to get messages and downloads in your dreams. So keep in mind, this is very open when I say that, especially as it relates to spirituality. It's very open. If you're a dreamer and you know you get dreams, you know your ancestors are going to talk to you through them dreams. If you've been sleeping a lot, you're actually doing work right now. A lot of my work is when I'm sleeping. A lot of my work is when I'm sleeping. So that's another thing. When like I recently we talked about, hey Jeff, how's it going? Thank you. It's not today, it's on Sunday, but thank you. In case I don't come live, you know, again. I do a lot of work in my dreams, in my dream space. So sometimes we talk about like the astral realm, the astral plane, and things like that, and people get scared. Well, honey, you can't be scared of what's going to be beneficial to you in some way. And sometimes you're like, oh, what if I get stuck or this and that and that? Let me tell you something. That's why you call upon your ancestors. That's why you have your herbs. That's why you take your spiritual baths. That's why you do these other things. It all comes together and converges. And right now is the best time than any. Let me tell you. It's darkness. It is darkness. The oligarchs have come to take control, hunty. Are you going to let them take control of you, though? That's something you got to ask yourself. You got to answer that question for yourself. I can't answer it for you. Even if I pull out my cards, I'm not supposed to tell you what you should be doing. I can help. I can guide. I can kind of, you know, get you to uncover some stuff. But ultimately, like I've been trying to tell, this is why I've been telling you guys. So while I say you should be doing your work, and sometimes y'all feel like, oh, that means I gotta be doing something. I gotta do something. I gotta do something. Sometimes your work is while you're sleeping. Oftentimes my work is while I'm sleeping. When I'm in the astral realm, when I'm traveling, in my dreams. When my ancestors are talking to me in my dreams. Sometimes I be watching a TV show, a little series or something. I pick up, I'm like, oh, we'll watch a little series. And my ancestors send me messages through various different ways. So your ancestors can communicate with you in many ways. Know that. Hey, Jeff. I'm doing good. Thank you. Coco! Oh, Coco, you did not get ignored. Oh, I didn't see you up here. Hi, Coco. How you doing, babe? Long time, honey. How you been? Come on, Coco. Like, don't come up in here acting like you don't know. I would give you a warm fucking welcome, girl. Especially if I ain't seen you in a long time. And, okay, one time you called me, all right? When shit was going down, okay? Shit was going down, okay? And it was going down. And you called me. It was like, you good? And I was like, thank you for calling me, okay? Because, girl, I was about to light some shit up. Okay, I was about to knock some shit down, and you called me and was like, "You good?" So I didn't ignore you, honey. I just didn't see it. That's it. I would not ignore you. I just didn't see it. Anyway, I know some of you may be worried about what's going on with the politics and all that. I am here to say to you, stay 10 toes down. Focus on your work. Focus on you. Your work was here. All this, what's going on right here? You focus on that. Focus on where you need to go. Oh no, Jeff, what's wrong? What do you mean you're not good? Oh. What's going on, Jeff? What happened? Let's talk about some herbs real quick. And I know you guys are probably like, why is she cramming all this stuff in this one video? Just in case I don't come live again. When I tell you, your girl has literally been like just working on my own shit. That's what I've been doing. I've been focusing on my own shit. So in case I don't come live again, which I probably will this weekend just because, you know, my birthday's on Sunday and all. So I might come live once again. What? You had to block your daughter? Oh, she was talking through her mom to talk to you? Anyway, listen, get yourself some rosemary. Rosemary's important. What else? I feel like coconut oil is important for the next little season. Let's get some coconut oil in the system. I feel like you should be ingesting coconut oil, that or coconut milk or coconut water, something coconut. Coconut's going to be important this next little season. The last time I had a season where coconut was necessary was in 2007 or 6 or somewhere between 2007 and 2009. I had a coconut spell and I lost like 26 pounds in like 30 days. Okay. I could certainly use that right now because let me tell you, your girl has packed on with this alcohol. I mean, listen, and I dropped some like because I hadn't drank for like a week or two. And then I dropped some, and then here I am drinking again. So I know the pounds is gonna be like, boom. They're gonna be so there tomorrow. I'm gonna wake up and just like, girl, you thought you got rid of us? It's my birthday weekend though, so you know, excuses. Anyway, as it relates to that, I feel like coconut is gonna be very important next this season. Coconut oil or coconut milk or coconut water. Basically, coconuts are going to be important. Pineapples are going to be important. Coming up. And I know for some of you, it's like, it's the middle, it's a dead winter. Now, listen, the last few days, it has been so cold down here in Florida. It didn't snow for us, but it felt like snow was coming. I was looking at the sky like, that looks like snow weather, okay? Because if you don't know, like, I'm not just from tropical weather. Like, I grew up, like, okay, so let me say. I grew up in SoCal, but I also lived in various different cold weathers, cold places. So I know what cold weather and cold places feel and look like. I was born in a cold place. I was born in a very cold place. And my younger childhood was in a very cold place. So I understand what those things are like. So when I see it, I know what it is. That's a good thing. But still, the pineapple is going to be important. The coconut, more importantly. I feel like the coconut, I'm going to put a star next to coconut. Coconut, I'm putting a star next to that. So feel like coconut, rosemary, obviously you need to have your rosemary. Your rosemary is good for your mental and your psychic protection. So if you cook with your rosemary, if you burn it, whatever, however you want to use it, it's fine. Put it in your tea, whatever. It's up to you. Your rosemary, your coconut, and there's another one. I wrote one down, but that's not the one that I'm thinking. That's not the one that I'm trying to channel right now. There's one that I'm trying to channel right now that's really important for you right now. And these other ones that I'm writing down, they're additionals. They're not the main course. It's not coming to me right now. But anyway, let's just stick with rosemary and coconut for now. So right now, rosemary and coconut. There's another one that's it's right there. It's just not coming out. All right. Rosemary, coconut, cloves, and cinnamon. Pineapples as well. All right, so listen. Rosemary, coconut, cloves, and cinnamon. Take those. There's another herb. There's one more herb that really is not coming to me right now, but that you need to know. And I will come and do another separate video and I will talk about that herb. I feel as though if you're not taking your spiritual baths, then you are missing out on the protective energy that you need right now. Especially for the Black community. Not to say that if you're not Black, that's not that you shouldn't be doing these things, but specifically the Black community, because the Black community right now is under is feeling under attack right now. And when you're feeling under attack, that's just as good as being under attack, okay? And so I send peace to you. I send love to you, and I send abundance to you, and I send you all the good things that are in this earth that you can consume and participate in. I send you happy thoughts, and I send you glad tidings. I send you good energy and happy moments and happy spaces of time. That's what I've got for you. So the final thing that I want to give you is not just these herbs, but also your words. Let me send. That's all I got for tonight. Okay. I'm gonna end this video off, and I want to say thank you for tuning into my channel. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you get notifications every time I upload a new video, and definitely smash the like button. I think I'm gonna come live again because I do want to talk about specific characteristics of some of the herbs and things that we use and that we participate in. But I also want you to know that you are protected. You're good. I know you're worried and I know you're concerned, and I know there's a lot of concerns and a lot of things to worry about and a lot of things to concern about, but None of them are more important than you, and you need to know that. Okay. Alrighty. So there's sage, thyme, and mugwort. Okay. Yeah, mugwort I came up with, Jeff. Thank you for adding that in there. So my so-called daughter was blaming me for everything bad in her life. Oh, that sucks. Well, what did she say? Like what happened, Jeff? Let's talk about that. Yeah. Now the mugwort, so the sage is going to protect that energy just in general. It cleanses the air and things of that nature. The thyme is good for that, as well as thyme does a couple of things. It does some cleansing of energy, as well as it's got a special quality in there that I can't recall right now. But the mugwort is very good for the psychic energy as well. So your mugwort is going to induce your psychic energy and your psychic abilities. I got my book right here. Let's look at that. Thyme I want to look up because thyme I use, but I use it. It's almost like every other time I use thyme. You know, it's not like every time. It's like maybe every 3 to 4 times I use thyme. So let's see what thyme is talking about in this book. If you are working your magic, which I think you should be anyway. Even if you don't believe in this stuff, take this stuff in a tea. You don't have to like burn it. No problem. You don't got to go burn a sage stick. Go put a pot of herbs on the stove and drink it. You'll need this. You will need this. Like, I feel like you will need this. What do you mean? What do you mean? What happened? Like, what do you mean? You know, sometimes let me ask you this. Huh? Can you turn it? Well, I was gonna do like a alternative version of lasagna. So if that's cooked well, then you can move that other pot to that same eye so that the noodles can get cooked. Because then I'm gonna mix it like almost like spaghetti, but not spaghetti. So we're gonna break up the lasagna. Lasagna is gonna be broken up. Yeah. Huh? Doesn't matter. So thyme is for good health and for healing. That's why I only use it every other time. Because it's for healing and good health. Okay? Restful sleep and pleasant dreams. Develop psychic power. So those herbs that you put there, pretty much all of them are good for psychic powers to increase and improve your psychic abilities. Let me see where it's at. Yeah, don't do it just yet. Just wait, because you got to wait till that water gets hot and boiling. Thyme is also for purification. Why do I have tears in my eyes? It also gives you courage and energy. So that's thyme. what I was going to ask was, is your first response usually to leave? If your response is usually to leave, then maybe you are missing something. Maybe you should have more discipline. I'm not saying this is the case. It's purely based upon how you normally respond. So how do you normally respond to them? Maybe Cameron did pretty good with this. I haven't seen it. It's cute, isn't it? Okay, well, I guess. So I had never met her. Oh. Now, see, I guess this all depends upon how you were introduced to the idea of this child. Did you know she existed when she was born? Oh, you found out when she was 18. Okay, I remember. I remember you telling me. I just had to, you had to recall. We had to recall. So, okay. So for 18 years, this child was not in your life, so they don't know they don't know how to communicate with you in the way that you communicate with, and you don't know how to communicate with them in the way that they communicate. Now, I know for you like, I just gotta let this go, but also if this is your child, see, in the past when you were not present can be excused, but now if you decide to disappear, that's when you become a deadbeat. And even though she's 18 and she's older than 18, there's many years that you were not present in her life. When she becomes an adult and she starts having relations with men or engaging with men, are you going to teach her that men, when they get annoyed, that they should just walk away? Or are you going to teach her that when men get annoyed, they should tell her, "You're annoying me. Stop doing that shit"? Choice is yours, really. Hi. Come here. Give me a hug because you're so handsome and I love you. I may worry about you, son. I really do worry about you. Oh, she's married? Okay, well, ultimately, however you want to respond to this is your choice, Jeff. I just want to, kind of throw out some things, some feelers for you just to think about. But, like, the situation. I don't know the situation. You know the situation, you know? Oh, she refusing to talk to you and stuff. But you know the situation. I don't know the situation. I just want to remind you of some of the things that can kind of occur based on those things. Yeah, she's going through her mom and she's over 18. There's no need for her to go through her mom. You guys are, old enough. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, let me end this live because I've got to go and finish up some things. If I find some time to come live again, I will. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you so much. Well, you got to do what you got to do then, Jeff. I kind of wanted to know, like, deep down inside, like when you just take a deep breath and you just pause for a second, how do you feel about not speaking with her again? Like, how does that make you feel deep down? It hurts. I get that. I get that. I get that too. So, have you asked to get the DNA test yet? You could always do something like, oh, I want to go ahead and make my will. So if I do my will, then I want to make sure that, that you're my biological daughter and this and that and third. Find out. I understand that hurt, interestingly enough, and I know you guys may not know this, but hurt is a pain, is an energy and an emotion that I understand very well. Pain, I understand that very well. Okay. Well, that sucks. That really sucks. You can test the DNA with just your DNA and with the DNA of the kid. So I know that if the mom is refusing to give the kid's DNA, then yeah, I get it. Well, how do you want to respond? How do you feel about the response that you feel you may have to do? And I want you to try to tap a little deeper into yourself to determine whether or not this is absolutely necessary, or if I can find a way to work around it. If you can't find a way to work around it, well, I guess that's just it. It is what it is. But a part of the process of growing and healing is recognizing that sometimes our natural response is to run. And so if our natural response is to run, how can we grow from that? And oftentimes it is to learn to face. Now, if you're saying that there's nothing you can do, I'm just saying you think about all this. Everything I'm saying, you think about it. You decide for yourself. But I hope you make the right choice for you and for the baby, for the kid, you know? That's just important. That's so important. I know you're going to do the right thing. I know you're going to do the best thing for everybody involved. All right, that's it. I'm gone. I'm out of here now. Appreciate you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Don't forget my birthday's on Sunday, okay? So if I happen to tune in again this weekend, then understand it's my birthday weekend. So say happy birthday, motherfuckers. I get it. I get it. All you can do is what you can do. Can't do more than you can do. Can't do more than what you can do. So it's my birthday weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a video. But you know her number 2. So I don't know the total situation, Jeff. And I'm going to be clear with you. I don't know what the situation is. I really don't. I only know what you're typing up here, and I have to piece it all together. But I will say that if it's relating to your child, you know your child's number 2. And you are the parent. So call. And good night. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. I may come live again. I very much may, because I'm thinking I might just go live on my phone, and then that way we can walk around and do shit. You know what I mean? Because I can't focus. Like, I gotta sit here in this wet place. I can't do that. I gotta be moving around. I got shit to do. So I might do that. Well, if you don't, then that's something you got to figure out. Anyway, bye, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you get notifications. Every time I upload a new video, smash the like button. I will probably try to come back live again. I just have some things I need to do in the background. So let me go finish those things, and I will see you guys in a minute.